Greetings and welcome to the greatest money show on YouTube. Everything money is often replicated, never duplicated. Let's go. All right. Oh, somebody reminded me to get my water this morning, and it turns out there's an empty bottle here that I didn't see. So that's great. All right. Futures are down this morning. And that's all I have to say about that. Oh, now futures are up. Okay. We're back to normal. It's funny, when I went to bed last night, I was looking and I saw that the markets were, the S&P was down maybe 0.5%, and I was excited. I thought we were going to get a red day. But sadly enough, we're not. Also, I saw that Panera Bread is looking at going public in some fashion. Now, something I learned about Panera Bread the other day is that what they're trying to do is they're trying to make every single Panera Bread a drive-through. So any of them that are in plazas where they're sandwiched between two stores or whatever, they're not going to be there. Well, at least that's their goal. So that's their goal. And what I like is there's one Panera Bread that is next to my dentist office. It's going to be converted into one of my favorite restaurants. So I'm happy for that Panera Bread to get the boot. All right. All right. Let's see. Here we go. Let's start some stories. But while we get going, what do I want to talk about first? Let's talk about the Chinese stocks, since a lot of us are invested in Alibaba, Tencent, what's the other one? Baidu. So Chinese stocks turn, and of course their index was up yesterday about 2.5%. So Chinese stocks rallied in Hong Kong on Tuesday after some brokers started turning optimistic on the sector and said investors were making an attempt to find a bottom in prices after the recent sell-off. I'll tell you what, that sell-off was incredibly dramatic, and it was irrational fear. That's what I think. So can those stocks go lower? Yeah, absolutely. But there was so much negative sentiment coming in about those stocks that I shouldn't even say about those stocks, about the entire index. So, yeah. But the Hang Seng Tech Index rose 2.5% yesterday. The gains may give confidence to investors in the Chinese tech names after a government clampdown on sectors ranging from the education to technology that wiped out about $1 trillion of shares that were listed in that index. There was so much bad news on tech companies earlier this month, so it's not a surprise that some investors bought such stocks after them being so low. So we bought the dip. That's all I have to say about that. But that sector is still down 20% for the year. So guys, they got smoked. Don't forget about that. And yeah, somebody just said Alibaba. That's exactly what I'm talking about. The internet sector as a whole may be range bound for the near term, but they're likely seeing consistent rally in Q4 after the regulatory environment stabilizes. And frankly, they were getting hit from both sides. They were getting hit from the United States. They were getting hit from China, and everything was bad. So I'm excited about that. I guess I just need to decide when my next ad point will be, because I do want to get more. And at this rate, the put options that I sold to collect good income, I'm happy about that. But those are not going to execute anytime soon. So Amazon, to pay shoppers hurt by other products, does not admit liability. So I think a lot of this has to do with third-party stuff that's sold on Amazon, which I rarely buy. I actually just did buy some there the other day, which it's probably the second or third time ever that I've bought something on Amazon that's not Amazon Prime. But Tuesday, Amazon said that it would pay customers who suffered injuries or property damage from defective goods that others sell on its platform. So I was watching an interview, and I shared this with the Bid and Ask Nation yesterday and it was an interview with Manesh Pabrai, who is just awesome. But if you're in the Bid and Ask Nation, I highly suggest you go back and see which ones I directed at the whole channel and go and watch it. But he was talking about Amazon, and he was really saying like he doesn't understand the concept of Amazon and how it works. Well, of course he understands the concept, but how they could he used the example of Band-Aids. He said you take a $4 box of Band-Aids, you buy it, it comes in, you get it the next day. There's no way that cost Amazon $4. So it was interesting when you think of it that way. But obviously Amazon, everybody loves Amazon, so I know I love it. So a state appellate court in California said last year that Amazon would be liable for its fulfillment, so it's Amazon Prime stuff. Effective September 1st, Amazon will pay valid claims up to $1,000, which make more than 80% of injury and damage cases on its platform at no cost to the sellers. And I guess this is going to be this is the new thing. So if you get hurt, there you go. They use the example. Where's the dog leash person? Oh, here we go. A woman in Pennsylvania, for instance, in 2016 sought to blame Amazon for a merchant's retractable dog leash that blinded her when it snapped. Ouch. That doesn't sound fun. All right. Let's look at Intel. So Intel nears the completion of a $3 billion Hillsboro factory expansion. So Intel said on Monday that it has begun installing manufacturing tools in its latest expansion of its D1X research factory in Hillsboro. I'm assuming this is in Oregon. The chip maker said it expects to complete the facility in about 6 months. With the new focus on chip engineering and production, Gelsinger, CEO, hopes that the Intel can catch up with its competitors within 3 years. I think they namely mean AMD. Intel hopes to capitalize on a chip shortage that was constraining supplies of everything from laptops to automakers, and to receive a share of more than $50 billion in federal subsidies for semiconductor factories. Intel has already announced plans to spend $20 billion on the new factories in Arizona. So that's awesome. Speaking of these chip shortages, I was looking the other day at Tesla's website, and I know that they've been struggling. I mean, Elon Musk came out and he was talking about the chip shortages really affecting their seats of their cars, and how you move the seat in 10 different directions or 20 different directions, what have you. If you look on their website now, they're already booking out to March and April of next year for deliveries. And I know Paul ordered one 2 weeks ago, and that was looking at February, March. So they've already moved out another month. I really hope I get mine in October because I'm super pumped. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, this chip shortage stuff is really something. All right, Fed officials say tapering is near, and they're advancing the discussion on the rate hike. So this right here, he's the Atlanta Fed president. So 2 Fed presidents on Monday said the U.S. economy is growing rapidly, and that while the labor market still has room for improvement, inflation is already at the level that it could satisfy one leg of the key test for the beginning hikes. And of course, they said that they want 2% inflation stabilized. I don't know. So Atlanta Fed President Raphael Bostic said he is eyeing fourth quarter for the bond tapering to begin. He said he could even see that happening sooner if the job market improves. And we know no matter what they want to tell us, there's no way that the job market is crushing it, because we're supposed to have 1 million jobs created in April. And we had, 870,000 jobs created in July. So, but moreover, he and Richmond Fed President Tom Barkin said they both believe inflation has already achieved its 2% threshold, and that's one of the 2 requirements. So Bostic has already penciled in a late 2022 start of the rate hikes. Barkin said the inflation seen this year may have satisfied one of the Fed's benchmarks, but there's still enough room for the job market to improve. This remarks echoed the comments made by St. Louis President James Bullard last month, who said that the current pace of inflation, 3.5% annually by the Fed's preferred measure, is well above the central bank's 2%, and the labor market is still behind. So I just like to keep tabs on this stuff. Nothing's really changing. It's going to be very, like I said, guys, I don't think that we're going to see things move in the stock market. I think you might have your big 200 plus point days on the Dow. You're going to have minus 200 point days on the Dow too. But I do not think that we're going to see any substantial gains or losses in the overall market until after Labor Day. And that's because of A, Labor Day, and B, the Fed symposium in Jackson Hole. All right, Beaker's going to love this. Egyptian billionaire Naguib Sawiris says quarter of portfolio should be in gold. I disagree, but okay. Gold is a good investment when the world is concerned about inflation, says this Egyptian billionaire. The precious metal is often touted as a hedge against rising prices and a safe haven. 5 to 10% in your portfolio. I personally think that Bitcoin, like this Josh Goldberg guy says, I think you should hedge. I think you should get rid of all your gold and just put everything into Bitcoin or Ethereum. But what do I know? And what does this guy know? So 20 to 30, this guy said he's 20 to 30%, and he used to be 50% in gold. He makes a good point here. It's something that's fundamental, and it's always been there, and it's not different this time. So is 20 to 30 to 50% too much? Yeah, I definitely agree with that. But I see where he's going with this. So gold is a safeguard. Asked if he expects to see stock markets decline, he said prices have been high for a long while, and they will inevitably fall. And yes, they will. What's the price target for Bitcoin these days? Well, I think I said 520. I mean, this guy's saying that I don't do my due diligence. I said $520 million per coin by the end of 2021. How am I not doing my research? All right, here's my good story. MLB and the MLB in sports reminds me of what what Ohio is to the sports gambling world. Every state around Ohio all got sports gambling, and everybody was leaving Ohio to go up to Erie, PA, and go to West Virginia, and go to Canada to Windsor, because they wanted to go and gamble. MLB is exactly the same. They're behind on everything. So now MLB is finally trying to get hip with everything, and they finally are in talks with Barstool Sports to broadcast games, because unless you love baseball, I think, which I used to love baseball a lot more, but I can easily sit there and watch a 9-inning game with no issue at all because I understand the sport. But if you don't understand the sport, I have to think that baseball is just such a boring game. If you're not looking for the different nuances on the field, I think watching somebody pitch and throw and then listening to these boring guys talk is just that. So Major League Sports and Barstool Sports, Major League Baseball and Barstool Sports have significant negotiations about having national midweek games on the site's platform. And this would create a new broadcast with in-game gambling. So, in my opinion, I think the NFL is so successful because of gambling. The way that they've formatted football to be gambling friendly. I mean, hell, there was one season where I played fantasy football. It was the only time I've ever played it. But I loved having that NFL red zone because I would watch every game because I wanted to switch around my players. I don't like football. I think it's boring. It's just not my thing. It's weird, but it even attracted me from the gambling aspect. So Barstool sticks out because it has a connection to its younger audience, which MLB wants and craves. And Barstool is going to be doing the Arizona Bowl. I think that's going to be incredible. It's not going to be your traditional bowl game. Noah Garden, MLB's chief revenue officer, has been waiting for baseball to become younger. They're just obsessed with it becoming younger, and for good reason, because they're losing fans. So, all right. That is the end of that. All right. Gambling is extremely disruptive. Where is the internet? So, what's the market doing? Let's see. And everything's positive now. Yippee! All right. Yields are ticking up. For those of you that have Coinbase and you're in it and they report after the bell, good luck to you. I pray to the gods above that you don't go broke. Next, I should definitely get rid of my personal account. All right, next. Patreon.com/everythingmoney. By the way, smash the like button. $7 a month gets you in the Discord. $26 a month gets you all of our software, which is pretty awesome. I mean, I use it every single day. It's really incredible. I use Stock Analyzer tool. There's an iPhone app. There's an Android app for those of you that still live in the archaic days, but the iPhone app is pretty awesome. I've used it before. $76 a month gets you access to me, and who wouldn't want that? We do all trading. You get all the software included. It's pretty awesome. And if you want to do anything one-on-one with me or Paul, $500 a month, 1 hour trading session, talk about whatever you want to talk about. Real estate deal with Paul, 4 hours. Talk about a real estate deal that you're about to do. Commercial, non-commercial, what have you. And if you smash the like button right now, that's disruptive. All right, let's get on to some stocks. So before we get on to some stocks, I have a gripe to pick. And it's with a lot of you people that are just wanting to get rich quick on my back. All right. So I am here to teach you a process. I am here to teach you how to trade. I don't want people coming into the Bid and Ask Nation expecting me to make the trades for you. So we're in, what are we in right now? Camping World. Camping World, it did well. It pulled back, and everybody's messaging. I was in it. It's tanking. Do I sell this or that? Listen, this is how charts go. Sometimes you're going to win. Sometimes you're going to lose. The most trades section is for, I'm just showing you the trades I'm making. If you want to get in on them, have fun. If you lose with me, that's on you. If you make money with me, that's on you. Don't just, when I say that I post my trades and I post the Employed Trader series and stuff like that, guys, you're the ones that are clicking execute trade on your end. It's not me. So if you want to follow somebody that is successful, I'm not going to win every single time. It's just not going to happen. But if you're comfortable, but don't think you're going to come to me and I'm going to be like this moron Stock Mo who's going to say, go and buy this. It's going to go up tenfold. Go and buy this. It's going to go up tenfold. I happen to not be a moron, and I know that I'm going to lose 2, 3 out of 5 times. But my wins are going to be a lot bigger. So don't send me any more DMs about dumb things like that, because it's I understand that YouTube has ruined you, but you need to also understand that I am teaching you something that you can use for the rest of your life. These other people that have ruined you are not teaching you something that they can use for the rest of your life. They're trying to get you to retire by the end of 2021, whether you're 18 years old or 91 years old, and it doesn't make any sense. So, also, other people that message me about how much money do I need to get, how much money do I need to start in the Bid and Ask Nation? $0. Because I want you guys to, let's say you're 18 years old and you have $0. I want you to learn how to do this so you can literally practice for 4 years. And by the time you get your first paying job where you're making, I don't know, $75,000 a year, you can jump right into this and you are an experienced trader and you just hit the ground running and that's all you do. So that's the end of my rant, and don't argue with me because I'm right. All right, next, give me some stocks. I want to look at this one because Mickey gave this to me. He was thirsty this morning for this Futu. All right. So Mickey, you dropped down to the 200-day moving average and you've hovered on it for a long time. So that's good news. The good news is that you have not broken through that. Now, you have decelerating volume, which is not surprising, and you got a little bump today. So you're up 3.1% today. So let this thing move up, be patient, let it get into the sweet spot. With this one, I'm telling you, you're going to have to buy low and sell. I'm sorry. You're going to have to, now I sound like Stock Mo. You're going to have to buy high and sell higher because you're going to need to get this thing up in this range before you buy. I need this thing to be in the sweet spot. You have a lot of moving averages to compete with. So eventually this thing will get up here and start moving on you, but you just have to be very, very patient and go from there. Next stock, FVRR, Fiverr. Okay. Fiverr took a whack last week. The gap is real. It gapped, oh my God, it gapped below all of its major moving averages. So it's interesting to see that volume has been coming into the stock over the last couple of days. So with this thing, if you want to short this, you gotta, man, even trying to short this, I don't think you're going to be able to short it below this level. That's a very strong support line. And if I move this, 158.38, that is the support level. So that's a line I just drew in there. So if I'm you, I'm probably just letting this thing consolidate. It's probably just going to go sideways for a while, and then maybe it'll move back up. But this gap will eventually fill. It could take a year, but it'll fill. So, all right. Buy low, sell high. Oh, Frenchie. AMD. Let's see what AMD is doing. Aha. Who told you that this was going to happen last week? Somebody please go and pull all of my sound bites where I said this is going to turn. And all of a sudden, boom. Yesterday, it moved right down. So this is a flagpole pattern for those of you that don't know. And I told you to take profits up here, and I hope you did. So this is a flagpole. Flagpoles move straight up with no support. That's why I like to see W formations like this. Because W formations like this create support lines. Support, support, support. There's no support on this one. It shot straight up, created your flagpole, and it came straight down. So finally, it leveled off here. We'll see if today is going to level off. It could come down even further. I wouldn't be surprised to see this thing come all the way back down to under $100. I wouldn't be surprised one bit. And look how much selling volume there is. So if you took profits, good job. If you didn't, maybe next time. Well, speaking of flagpole patterns, let's look at Moderna. So do we have, let's see this. Okay. So Moderna is actually making, so you notice the difference here. Moderna is making W formations, W formations, W formations. Thank you, Joseph. Tell me what stock you want, but I appreciate you just appreciating. So look, guys, this is creating the W formations so I'm actually quite impressed here. They were up, what were they up yesterday? 14% or something like that. So I would hope if you're in this for your in the sake, I want to see a pullback on it like that and then move on you. So let's see. All right. Clove is up 12% in the last 2 days. Dark pool volume finally trading. Matt. I don't know. I've seen your name in here before, and I think I know who you are. But Clove is one of the dumbest companies in the history of the world. Baidu. Bum, 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 bum. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so same situation as I almost said Yahoo. Alibaba. Smash the like button for me, please. And let's see. Yeah, this thing is just going to need to move into the sweet spot. And the good news is that you have all of this positive sentiment finally coming out of China. So it's going to take some volume, but we got to just get this thing moving up. It's going to take a lot to get through these moving averages, I'm sure. So remember this chart. I'm sure if we look at Alibaba, it's going to be very similar looking. Yeah, it is. I mean, it's similar. You're still consolidating, but same situation. You need to get into the sweet spot. You need to get volume. You need to get through the 4 moving averages. So I'm sure if we look at any other Chinese stock, they're all going to look the same. CCL. All right, CCL. So CCL is, man. So look at CCL. This is the interesting thing about CCL. This is a 50% stock, and we're starting to not see that many 50% stocks because what we're seeing is people are just running with the whole market. There's no more pullbacks, except for CCL. I want to see NHCL or something like that. So I digress. 50%. You have your high, you have your low, and then you have your midpoint. And the stock price moves up and gets, boom, whacked down. Moves up, whacked down. Moves up 50%, whacked down. So why is it moving up? Obviously, it's moving up because people are trying to make money back. And people are thinking, if I could just get half my money back, or this is the previous resistance point, maybe we can squeeze some more gains out of it. Or they'll just say, I'm going to take my profits. So everybody sells and it moves back down. So 50% stocks are very powerful. And this is a big one. So I do not foresee CCL getting above 31 anytime soon. It has to compete with the 200-day moving average, which is huge, and then the 100-day moving average and 50. So just let this thing get into the sweet spot and go from there. I want to look at Norwegian. NCLH. What a confusing ticker. So it's probably the same thing. I don't know. Let me see. What do we got here? Yeah, same thing. 50%er. What's the Royal Caribbean? Royal. I love being here. Don't ban me. Matt, I would never ban you. But with all due respect, you haven't dug in enough to Clove. I have absolutely dug in enough to Clover, or whatever the hell it's called. I have looked into that stock. There is nothing behind it. What time is it? I can look into the pipeline right now if you want me to. Or whatever their software is or whatever it was. But it's not... Listen, man. I invest in drug companies for a living. And I invest in healthcare for a living. No. All right. Could the price just keep skyrocketing? Just because the price of the stock is skyrocketing doesn't mean that it's a good company. There's plenty of stocks out there that skyrocket. There was a company that I used to own 1% of the company. It went from a $165 million company to like $3 billion. And I told the CEO, I was like, at $3 billion, I was like, if you do not focus on the drugs that you are supposed to be focusing on, and they were just going full bore on COVID when they had an amazing drug that was for triple metastatic breast cancer. I said, if you don't go back to your focus on triple metastatic breast cancer and just keep chasing this COVID crap, I'm pulling my investment. So we pulled out completely. Just because and now that stock price is lower than when I initially bought it in 2018. So when stock price does not reflect company, and I think all of this hype that we've seen in this market has just proven that. So Clove is exactly the same thing. And Matt, I see your name in here all the time. I'm not attacking you. I'm just saying you need to do a deeper dive and understand that just because something's up 12% in 2 days doesn't mean anything. I saw this company that I was invested in go 75% in a day, and I was like, this is stupid. Why are we doing this? And it was because of news about coronavirus and some government contract that they got. And then, of course, they didn't get. So Royal Caribbean, same thing, 50% rule. Next. Guys, smash the like button. I see a lot of people are wanting it. So All right, let's do Lumen. Lumen. Wait, Lumen. Lumn? Lumen Technologies. I don't know what they do, but let's see here. Okay, so everybody's excited, I think, because we're getting this turn up down here. So it's moving towards the sweet spot, but it has a long way to go. And I happen to think that you're going to have to take out this 1280 level before you can make any kind of investment into it. But definitely have to get through that 100-day moving average. FSLY. FSLY. Dun, 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 dun. Fastly. All right. So a lot of these things are just getting really beaten down. Wonder why. Let me pull out here and look at this. So I don't know what this is, but I am very leery of this because you need to. I'm just looking back to, this is July of 2020, and it has not been in the overbought area since July 2020. That just tells me that there's a lot of ins and outs and maybe hype, because I'm seeing this flat and then just boom. So I don't know if this is hype or not. Maybe somebody can tell me what it is. But if this thing gets turned up to, okay, I have a better idea. To me, why don't we just go and swing trade this? So why don't we get over here on the daily stochastic? This is great. Moving up through the sweet spot nicely. I would like a little bit more volume, but if you make an engulfing candlestick today over yesterday, that's perfect. You can go ahead and add to this thing. I would love that. That's a much better idea to trade fastly from a daily perspective than a Oh, okay, Matt, now you're making more sense. It's not a fundamental play. Well, why'd you talk about what they have in there? Where was that? You were talking about what they had. I haven't dug into Clove enough. When you talk about digging into something, I assume that you mean pipeline or software or whatever they do. All right, so Ruger. Okay, Ruger's a good-looking trade. Cash, Nick, Noah, Caesar. Can somebody please put Ruger on my watch list? I like this. So it's going to move into the sweet spot nicely, and this is looking really good. Now, let me zoom out a little bit. Nick. Thank you, Nick. That's very nice of you. All right, so I'm going to zoom out, and I want to see where this is at. This is at, oh, it's already 9:30. Oh, yeah. Yeah, let's look at Ruger. I think Ruger can get to about $90 a share, maybe. Yeah, $90 a share. So somebody go ahead and send me that in the chat, and we'll go ahead and look at that. All right, I will do one more because I am in a good mood. Dun 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 dun. Somebody send me a good stock. Facebook, I don't want to do that one. Moderna, I already did. Corsair, I'd rather not. SJM. Is this Smuckers? Nice. Smuckers, you got it. All right. So Smuckers, it's beaten down for sure. I don't think you can do anything with this soon. It's just going to consolidate. All you're going to do is just bounce around in here. Now, let's go look at it from a daily perspective because this looks pretty nice. Let's get up here. Okay, stop. All right. So, yeah, so let this thing move up. I think you should probably get this in the next couple days. The only hesitation I have is that you need to get through these three major moving averages. That's going to be tough for you. But if you can boost through those, I mean, you are capable of breaking. See how this day it tried to break through all moving averages, pulled right back down on you. This day it tried to get through the moving averages, pulled right back down. So if you want to try to run up and compete with the moving averages, sell when you get to the 50 or sell when you get to the 100. It's definitely a risk on play, but you can absolutely do it. So, all right, guys, that's it for today. We have a live stream today. I think it's at 2 o'clock. Is it at 2 o'clock? I should really know these things, shouldn't I? Give me 1 second while I go and check the Discord. I want to give you all the right time. This page, YouTube announcements. Dun, dun. I have some information for stock GDDY crashes every earnings and rebounds. GDDY, huh? Maybe that's one that we should look at. All right. I think the live stream today is at 2:00. So I will see you guys at 2:00 on the live stream. And you guys have a fantastic day. And go make some money. Peace.